Hey everybody, I'm with Joe Fernandez, the CEO, the president, the founder of Klout. And this is awesome because it's been, I think, 2 or 3 years maybe since we first connected at South by Southwest, and really kind of the germ of the book started to come together for me because I heard your personal story of how you founded Klout. So it's been, I think, a year or so since we connected. So bring us up to speed on what's going on with Klout. We haven't talked for about a year, so what's the news?
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Last year was a big year for Klout. We grew the company on basically every metric. Practically doubled in size of people in the company, grew registrations in terms of people coming to Klout to sign in and claim their Klout scores, and the brand side of Klout, all the perks we did. Hundreds of perks last year.
Wow.
And big deal with Microsoft we announced late in the year where they actually invested in Klout, and Klout is now being integrated throughout Microsoft Bing Search, which is really exciting. And then we've been working on some big, exciting new stuff.
Now, what can you tell me around the Microsoft data eventually being used within Klout? How's that coming along, and what's the timing of that? What can you tell us about that?
So what's exciting about the relationship with Bing is we have a similar outlook on where the internet is, and that it's changing from being page-centric to people-centric.
Yeah.
And as the web makes that change, search needs to change with it. And the content you create and how people search for you and how the content you create shows up in other people's search, all that needs to feed back into your Klout score. So you'll see a series of releases over the next few months that really put that into action and on a really huge stage in terms of Bing. And they're thinking really big and very innovative team, so it's been a lot of fun working with them.
Well, it's so interesting and ironic. I got to meet the European director for Bing, and he talked about the need for warm search results. And this was before you guys announced the deal. So I mean, it sounds like they're trying to get some sort of authority and some personality into the search results.
I mean, I think the opportunity here is, search historically has been kind of about this like fact finding. What's the capital of North Dakota, or where should I buy this? But now that the internet is moved to being more people centric, and you have social and the way we all create and consume content, search needs to change with that. And Klout, a lot of people have said, has been, in essence, page rank for people. So to the extent that can be leveraged in relevancy and provide those warm results based on your social graph, based on your passions, based on your expertise, that's a great thing for users.
That's fantastic. Now, while we're still on the subject of growth, it seems to me, my observation is that kind of like 2 years ago, there was a lot of focus on internal growth for you. You're really working hard on the algorithm. You were hiring scientists. And then the second year, my observation is you've been working on external growth. You've had this series of commercial deals with not just Microsoft, but I saw you had a big one with ESPN. Yeah. So am I right about that? Or tell me a little bit about what growth for you in 2013 looks like.
So we always are for us, we think of ourselves as a consumer company, so we're always investing in the science, the data, the experience to make Klout a useful tool to the world. And to the extent we do that through science as part of it, but then there's a commercial side of it, and we're fortunate that we have a product that consumers can get immediate value of. A great example is here at South by Southwest. We launched a brand new product, and Cirque du Soleil is our partner, where if you have the Klout iPhone app, you get invited into, they have a big presentation here on Tuesday, and you get VIP seating, and you get access to the performers and this great experience. So that's like that's kind of that blend of, there's science, like we had to figure out algorithms, and there's mobile technology, but there's also a commercial aspect in terms of how we enable brands and influencers to connect.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really interesting because sometimes I've wondered, your real customers are the brands, and but you really do need to connect with the consumers too, don't you? I mean, you do need to have people register. You do need to connect with, kind of your fans, right? I mean, it's not just all about brands.
Absolutely not. And one framing we talk about internally to try to make sense of this is LinkedIn is a great example, where if you think about LinkedIn, it's a directory of mostly white collar professionals, but their business is HR, recruiters, corporations paying money to search and connect with those people. Klout, in essence, is a directory of influencers, people who are on social, and there's way more of those than there are actually white collar workers. And our business side, where we make money, is brands who want to reach out to those people. But without that consumer utility and those consumers caring, there is no business. So our number one priority is always driving utility, driving a great experience for people, not brands.
Now, you made a great comment. You said that you're trying to move the Klout score away from being a blunt object. I thought that was kind of interesting. And, there has been such an enormous amount of development that most people don't see. I mean, we kind of see the tip of the iceberg of what's going on with a Klout score. But tell me more about your hope for utility, for how this can actually be something that people will, care about and engage with.
Yeah, I always do, use that exact phrase. Is the Klout score is the tip of the iceberg, and it's great because it's digestible, it's consumable, we can all understand and compare our scores. But the real value is below the water. It's understanding what you're influential about, who you influence, how you influence them, how you can be more effective, and those are the things we've been really working on surfacing. Last August and September, we had a big score update, and we went from tracking 100 features to 400 features in the score, and went from 1 billion pieces of data a day to 12 billion pieces. We process 12 billion pieces of data every single day to come up with this score. So you're always striving to understand and capture a person's influence everywhere it exists. What I'm excited about from the product perspective is continuing to drive insights from that score. How do we help you? How do we cultivate influence? How do we help you as a communicator in the world, using social media, be more effective, share your passions more effectively, surface your expertise to the world? I think that is our job.
Well, Joe, in conclusion, I got to ask the question everybody asked you. Now, my Klout score hasn't changed for 2 years. Does this mean that I suck?
You have a high Klout score. That doesn't mean you suck. I think a great way to, and this is something, you'll start seeing the product is, the score isn't the end goal.
Yeah.
The score is like, when you're on this scale, it's a benchmark of how you're doing and are you being effective, and you're probably one of the most consistent content creators on the internet, so your score is going to stay steady and strong, but it's about understanding how you can be more effective, how you what other people are doing that might be useful for you to add to your repertoire, and building off those passions that you have.
Well, I had dinner with someone last night that suggested maybe I need to buy a puppy.
Puppies, babies, birthdays, weddings, those help, but it's solely temporary.
Yeah. Well, Joe, thank you so very much for your time today. And if people want to find out more about Klout, where can they find you and your company?
So, Klout.com. I'm at Joe Fernandez, and we look forward to feedback, comments, and continuing to launch exciting products.
Well, absolutely one of the nicest and most accessible company founders you'll ever find on the net. So thanks very much, Joe.
Thank you.